What's going on YouTube? This is UltimateiDeviceVids and this is Tweak Recap. And in this episode of Tweak Recap, I'm going to be recapping 5 of the best Cydia tweaks that were released this previous week. And the first tweak I'm going to show you guys today is called Fancy, and of course the spelling will be down below in the description. And this tweak is 99 cents in Cydia, and once you've installed it, what it will allow you to do is add tints to your device. So for example, I'll just show you in Control Center, I have a red tint right now. This also applies to the Notification Center right here, as you can see, and also the keyboard on iOS. I'll go into the Notes app for a second and I'm just going to show you. I'll tap right here, and as you can see I have the keyboard and it has this red tint to it. So it's going to allow you to have tints on certain areas of your device. And how you configure it after you install it is go into Settings and scroll down until you see Fancy. And once you see it, go in there and make sure the tweak is enabled. And you go to global tint color. And what it means by global is it's going to affect multiple areas of your iOS device, not just a select area. So for example, right now I'm just going to go for a blue configuration. And by the way, you can mix the colors like this and just get whatever color you want. But once you're happy with it, just hit Save Changes at the bottom. And you can just exit out and it's automatically applied. You'll have your configuration set just like that. And again, it affects several areas of the iOS system. And if I go back into settings, I'll show you some other things you could do. For example, there's these override settings. This is just for specific areas of your device, so it's not global. So if I go into banners, as you can see, just for a banner notification, I could configure it so it's whatever color I want and then hit save. And it goes for all these settings. And the things this tweak allows you to change are banners, the notification center, the dock, HUD, so that's for the volume, control center, spotlight, assistant, and that's Siri and voice control, and of course the keyboard, which I showed you earlier. But again, if you want to just set everything at once global, you go to this option. But if you want to, again, configure specific options at once, you select your option here, and you could configure it. This is a very good tweak. Go check it out in Cydia. Again, it's called Fancy, and it's 99 cents. And the next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called SimplePasscodeButtons. It's free in Cydia. And what it will do is it'll basically remove the actual numbers and letters from your passcode icons on your lock screen. So if I just lock my device, and I'll slide to unlock, and as you can see, the digits for the passcode are gone. And the reason you may want to do this is to make it a little bit more difficult for people to get in. And there isn't that much of a purpose to it, obviously. It's just the same thing that you normally do. But again, it just makes it a little bit harder to unlock your device. And if you know where the keys are, again, it's not going to make any difference. But for some people, this may make a little bit of a difference. Now, there are a few settings you can configure if you go into the Settings app on your device and scroll down to the bottom until you see SimplePasscodeButtons. Just go in there, and if you go to button style, you could configure whether you want to hide everything or just the letters. And I'll show you the hide letters option if I go to that, and I'll just slide to unlock. And as you can see, it's just hiding the letters, it's not hiding any of the digits. And if I just go back in here, you could also do the default, which is basically just disabling the tweak. So if you want to do that, again, it's just going to go back to normal. And again, there's not too much of any kind of security fix with this, but some people may like it, and it may make a difference to, again, some people. It's called No Passcode Buttons. It's free in Cydia. Go check it out. And the next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called Animate. It's free in Cydia, and it has been around for a very long time, but it was recently fixed for iOS 7. So it was broken before, it wasn't working, but it was recently fixed. So you can now download the Animate Fix for 7.x.x. It's a separate package. You want to make sure you have both Animate Fix for 7.x.x and Animate both installed, and they're both free. And basically what these things will allow you to do is change the boot logo of your iOS device. So of course the Apple logo, when you first turn on your device, it's going to allow you to customize that to any image that you want. So once you've installed both of these items, you want to go into Settings on your device. And once you're in Settings, just scroll down until you see Boot Logo. And go in there, and you will have two built-in ones. Now, of course, you have the Apple logo, which is just the original logo. So if you want to disable this, just go to that. And the other one you have is Chronic Dev. And basically what that is it's a Apple logo fading into a skull as you boot up your device. It's really cool. I'll show that to you in a second. And the Extras section is for advanced users who know how to put their own boot logos in. And it will show you guys briefly how to do that at the end. But again, I'm just going to mainly focus on the average user who would just use the Chronic Dev or, of course, the Apple logo. So Chronic Dev. If I reboot my device, I'm just going to hold the power button down, and I'll just slide to power off. And now that my device is off, I'm just going to turn it back on. And for the first few seconds that you do turn on your device, it will just give you the normal app logo, but it will change in a second. And there you go. As you can see, the app logo fades into the skull logo from Green Poison. And then again, that's the green poison logo from the old jailbreak tool. And the dimensions are a little bit off on the taller devices, so the iPhone 5 Plus and the iPod Touch 5 Plus, but it does still work. And it will briefly show the app logo for a few more seconds before you are returned to the lock screen. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is for advanced users. So if you guys want to put your own boot logos in, the directory in the root file system is the following. So I'm just going to go into iFile right now and show you guys what it is. So you want to go all the way back to root, the main directory, just out here as far back as you could go, and then just go to library, boot logos. And in here you want to make a folder. It doesn't matter what it's titled, just whatever. I'm just going to make a folder right now, and I'll just call it test, and then hit create. And if you go in there, you want to make sure you put in a PNG file, and the file has to be named 0. So as you can see for the space boot logo, the one that I already have created, I'm just going to go in there. As you can see, I have the image titled 0, and it has to be a PNG file. And here it is right here. And the dimensions are fine for, of course, new iOS device users if you get the correct dimension. This is a wallpaper that is meant to fit the taller screen, so as you saw before, it worked perfectly. There's no dimension problem. But with the original skull logo that came with it, obviously there was dimension problems. But again, make a folder and then put a PNG in that folder titled 0. And after that, you want to go into settings, and of course you should see your boot logo that you just added under the settings for boot logo. If you scroll down, you should see yours in here. There's tests, but that's not created fully. But again, that's how you do it for advanced users. And the next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called TinyBar. It is free in Cydia, and what this tweak will do is just minimize your notification banners on iOS. So when you get a notification banner, it's going to severely minimize the size of it. So once you've installed it, you want to go into settings, and you can scroll down until you see TinyBar. Go in there, and here you could configure some settings right here, such as scroll to end, show title, show icon, and some banner positioning settings here. And you can also restore defaults. And I'm going to send myself a test notification in a second, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. And I just got a notification. As you saw right there, it was a lot smaller than it normally was. And it just, again, severely minimalizes the size of notifications. There's another one, as you can see, it's really small, and it's still functional. You can still tap on it, and you'll be led into the Messages app just like that. But again, they're just really small and really minimal. They won't interfere with what you're doing at all. That's one of the best things about them. Again, they're just really minimal, just like that. And you can still view them in the notification center as normal. Again, it's just when they show up initially, they'll be a lot smaller. And again, this tweak is called TinyBar. It's free in Cydia. Go check it out. And the next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called StoreAlert. It's free in Cydia. And what it will do is it'll basically ask you before a link is opened to the App Store. So if I go into Safari, and I'm going to show you, as you can see, here's the link for iTunes. And if it's an ad, sometimes you'll accidentally click on it. But in this example, obviously, I'm just Googling it. But if it was an ad, it'd be the same thing. Before it opened an application in the App Store from a link, it's going to warn you like this. It's going to say, the app that you're in, which is Safari for me, would like to open App Store. And again, if you don't want to open it, just hit cancel and it doesn't launch. If you do, just hit open and it'll go right to the App Store like it normally does. So if you're in games or any other application and it has an advertisement in it, and sometimes it automatically tries to open it in the App Store, this will stop that from happening again. It's just going to tell you this, and you'll be able to confirm whether you do want to open it or not. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.